Now let's talk about the India-China reset, and there's no denying that it is underway. And I'll tell you why I say this. Beyond the ministerial visits and engagements that we've seen over the past few months, India has made two significant moves over the past week. First, it started issuing visas for Chinese tourists, and now India is allowing joint ventures with Chinese companies. A new deal has been cleared. This is in the electronics sector. The deal is between an Indian and a Chinese company, Dixon Technologies from India and Longcheer Technology from China. Now, Dixon is a well-known contract manufacturer. It supplies to companies like Samsung and Xiaomi. And Longcheer is a Shanghai-based company. It designs smart devices like your phones and tablets. So there's clear synergy between these two partners, and they want to make the most of it. Dixon and Longcheer want to manufacture electronics, stuff like smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, and smart car devices and consoles. So their goals and interests align, and they're coming together. What does it mean for Indian industry? Well, we can think of two positives. One, they can do business with China again. Just like Dixon, there are many other companies that are keen to sign ventures with Chinese players. Those deals have a better chance of being cleared now because New Delhi seems to be open to the idea. So that's the first positive. Second, these JVs come with strong protections. Take the Dixon deal, for instance. They have a 74% share in the arrangement. Longcheer, the Chinese partner, will have 26%. And other JVs are likely to follow a similar structure, which puts Indian businesses in the driver's seat. The Indian side can dictate the day-to-day functioning of the business, and they will have the final say on all significant decisions. So Indian businesses are protected. At the same time, they get access to Chinese know-how. Looks like a win-win for both sides, but as always, there is a catch. These joint ventures will survive only if Beijing meets New Delhi halfway, only when they actively facilitate such initiatives. And on this count, China's track record has been patchy. In the past, they have actively lobbied New Delhi for greater access to India and its markets. At the same time, they have tried to sabotage genuine collaboration. On this show, we've been telling you about Foxconn. It is the biggest supplier of Apple. Foxconn is a Taiwanese company. It used to make most of its products in China. But recently, Foxconn diversified into India. They set up plants in India, and they started making products like iPhones and AirPods here in India. And how did China respond? It started placing roadblocks. First, Foxconn's engineers were pulled from Indian factories. More than 300 Chinese workers left India. Reports say China informally pushed for this. It verbally encouraged regulators and local governments in China to curb access. It blocked the flow of Chinese technology and equipment. It also held up the supplies of raw materials. Again, this is something that we've been reporting on. Foxconn has been struggling to import some rare earth minerals. These are critical to make electronics, and China has curbed their supplies. So on one hand, China talks about greater collaboration. On the other, it uses export controls against India. This is clearly an attempt to slow down India's progress. It is quite possible that India-China JVs may help iron out some of these issues. They might force China to keep the raw materials flowing and open up access to technology, because not doing so would hurt Chinese companies too. You see, in a joint venture, they're not just suppliers, they're also stakeholders. They have as much to lose as their Indian partners. So logic says that the Chinese chokehold will ease, but experience says do not count on it. Beijing is not famous for keeping its promises. Also, India cannot just look at the business in isolation. We have an unresolved, conflict-prone border, China's constant backing to terror state Pakistan, and a history of betrayals. In the age of Donald Trump and trade chaos, this reset may be a political exigency, but India will have to tread with caution.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karj mo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
$4 trilhão.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.